Kicking Comically, number 3. What's up, Steve?
Not much. Like I mentioned earlier, just working, got a new schedule, and dealing with that. And people coughing in my face, making me sick. And just here, cooking comically.
Yeah. This week's Cooking Comically is brought to you by Larry the Cable Guy Beer Bread. Just add beer and butter. That's all you need to add. And by Acme Beef Gravy.
Yes, no poop. That's a real can of Acme gravy.
Acme Beef Gravy.
Sponsored by all the Wile E. Coyotes out there.
Because when an anvil just isn't enough. Yeah, we're late for this week's episode because of illness as well. I was sick too.
And you have a interesting tale about that?
Not that illness, but shortly after that, there was a little bump in my nose that began to grow and get more and more sore. And I don't know what it was, if it was an infection or what, but it was not fun. So I decided, all right, just a couple days ago, I'm going to the doctor. So I called the clinic. I don't have insurance yet. I called the clinic, and they told me that the wait list for new patients is 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
And I asked them what would happen if my nose exploded before then. So they said I had to go to urgent care. I went to urgent care, and they wanted $180 up front just to see me. I don't have that kind of money. So I was like, fine, I'll go to the emergency room. I drove around for 20 minutes downtown looking for St. Mary's. Couldn't find it because I don't know this area. So furious, I came back home, dug through my medicine cabinet, found a bottle of old antibiotics that I never took. I had a full bottle of them, so I just started taking them on my own, and feel great. It's gone down. The infection's gone away. It's still real sore, but it's not growing anymore.
That's great.
So yeah, I am my own doctor. It's the do-it-yourself, at-home doctor diagnosis.
I kind of did the same thing. I am a pale-skinned guy, and the years in the sun here in Arizona are starting to show up. So I got this thing on my forehead that's like a little dry skin sort of redness that never goes away. And I found some old, probably, what do you call it? Cream, antibiotic cream. But I think it was for a thing on my foot. But I started putting it on. It's getting better, but
nice. Hey man, it's too expensive to go to the doctor for every little thing. If you can, they say take care of yourself. Your health is important. Absolutely. But if you can do it yourself and stop putting money in these greedy doctors' pockets, go for it,
Yeah.
So anyway, today we're going to be addressing a few different recipes. We will, in a minute, get into our leftover meat moment. We're going to be talking about your leftover taco meat. And then a little bit later on, we're going to talk about our featured food of the month. This is going to be the last installment of Top Ramen. Something
Aww.
I know, we're going to miss it. College students are just going to stop listening altogether. And then snack time. I'm going to talk about my famous meatballs. They're not traditional, and they're really easy to do. And then I got a other little sweet surprise later too.
Cool.
That I want to dip into. But who was that brought us in, man?
That was this is an album by Bill Connors. He's a guitarist, and from 1994, featuring Dave Weckl on drums.
Dave Weckl.
Weckl, and he has gone on to do well. If you're a drummer, then you should know who Dave Weckl is, and but. He does like solo stuff now, but he used to play Chick Corea and, just got known as a kind of a studio guy and what have you. And it's just really come a long way. But I really like his playing, and the way his drums sound are just awesome. And that was called, let's see, I think that was Twinkle from the Step It album. So I'll play another track later, but anyway.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what's up? You had this lady coughing in your face?
Yes, I had to do an X-ray on a patient the other night, and she was, very accommodating. And with this new shift, I work 3 to midnight, so it's not uncommon for me to have to wake somebody up at 10 o'clock at night and do X-rays on them. So she was cool about it, but as she was positioning herself, she just started hacking and coughing all over in my direction. And I'm just amazed when adults don't make any attempt to block or cover or turn away when they're coughing. And I don't know if it's because they're miserable or it's just mind-boggling. And so I'm not feeling well either, so I think she gave it to me.
I agree. And it's not just coughing. I mean, there's a lot of kind of, quote unquote, common sense things that you think that people would be smart enough to realize as adults that they don't. We were driving through like the really big like store area where there's the Target, the Home Depot, and all that just yesterday, and people are walking through there with strollers and with babies with them, and they walk right out in front of your car. They don't even make eye contact with you. They just walk, and it is their right of way, and I am going to let them go, and I'm not mad that they're in front of my car. What astounds me though is that they just assume. They don't make that eye contact to say, hey, do you see me? And it's one thing if it's just you, but you got a baby with you, come on, exactly. Exactly. It just amazes me that people just don't care or don't think.
I don't trust anyone. I mean, not that, but yeah, you got to be defensive. And yeah, when people like pull up to an intersection, if they're going to turn right or left or whatever, but they just they actually pull into the intersection instead of it could be someone walking with their device, totally oblivious, or with their baby. And I don't want that on my conscience.
No doubt. Or what about even driving? You're talking about being on the road. There are the people that signal as they're changing lanes. There's no pre-warning at all. It's just it's okay, now I'm doing it. I know somebody that's very, very, very close to me, whom I love very much, that will often say, these people aren't letting me in. Well, do you have your turn signal on? Well, no, I'm not turning yet. Well, I know, but that's why you're signaling them, to let them know that you're trying to get over. Otherwise, they don't know you're still in the lane. So
exactly.
Man, I know if my friend Ryan, who is coming really soon, actually just in a few days he'll be here. He has the biggest road rage. It's ridiculous. He could go on for hours just about how stupid people are and how horrible drivers everyone is. It's good times. Maybe we'll have him on. Let him do a rage segment. That might be fun.
Cool. Yeah, I look forward to meeting him.
So,
one last thing, and I've noticed when you're driving through the area in front of the stores, whatever, but people always cross from the store, vice versa, to the parking lot on an angle.
Yeah.
And I mean, I even do it, even though I just think it's fascinating that we all do that for some reason at an angle.
And you're taking more time and more space.
From me buying something I don't need.
Yeah. I know. You wonder, is it people don't care or they're not smart enough to realize? It's got to be one of the two.
Right.
I don't know. There's so many things that just drive me absolutely crazy. If I got a cart full of stuff, I always glance back at the person behind me. Do they have a package of toilet paper? Mm-hmm. They need to just get through and pay for it. Let them pay for it. Come on.
Or they open another checkout lane and you're technically next, and it's or whatever. If the person behind you, it's dude, go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already here.
It's not that big of a deal.
No, but they add up. Those things add up, and then that's what makes me kind of a cynic. Those people out there, ridiculous. Well. I was having a conversation with my mom this morning. I was telling her about the cashier at Home Depot. He kind of looked like he's a black guy, kind of thug looking, sort of, you know, and like he had some visible tattoos, you know, and I felt bad at myself after it was all said and done for just kind of having a preconceived notion, because I mean the guy was. I mean, it was probably the best customer service I've had in a month. You know, it was, hey guys, how's your day going? It's pretty cool in here. It's warm outside, you know, good day for swimming. Talking to Caleb, asking us about the stuff we bought. And it wasn't like he was doing it because he was up for review. Like, it was, you could tell it was sincere and genuine. It was like, man, like, that's really awesome. And to me, like, it means more to me if it's somebody that's not the same color skin as me, because it's like, to me, it's like combating racism. You know, I don't know. That's how I feel. It's like, it always seems like white people are always nice to white people, you know, or more so than the other way around. But it brightens my day to see when people are just don't notice it, I guess, when even I do. You know? But yeah.
Yeah, I bought a new pair of shoes at the Nike outlet store, and just cracks me up. I apologize.
Strike two.
And sorry, honey. You know, these guys, there's like 6, 7 people floating around this, you know, employees of this Nike outlet store, and I granted there's busier times than others, but they just keep milling around with their little earpieces, and you know, you doing okay?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fine. You know, I don't know if it's like a security thing, but it's just amazing.
I won't even shop at Zoomies anymore. We need to take a pause?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's take a break. We'll bring it back in with our feature drummer, and yeah.
Okay, we're back. Awesome. And I apologize again for the phone interruption. That was a song called Titan off of the Step It album by Bill Connors, featuring Dave Weckl on drums. And he's our, for drummers only, highlight of the week. And
Yep. Where were we? Oh, you were talking about the Nike store.
yeah, just you know, the guys milling around.
I won't even go into Zoomies anymore. I worked for them for one day. The interview process is absurd. They make you do relay races in the parking lot and talk about what you would do if you were a certain color Power Ranger, and it's absurd. But the big problem is anytime you go in there for anything, they keep trying to add stuff onto your sale, and they're pushy about it. I went in for a belt buckle. You want to get a hat? No, I just need this belt buckle. That's it. Well, we got these really cool shoes right now. No, like, stop. You know, I understand that it's a tactic, but when I say no and that's all I want, listen to me. Mm-hmm. You know, I won't go back in there. I don't care if they have something I want. I'll buy it online.
Yeah. And right now, boy, it used to be just the summer was the muscular dystrophy telethon, you know, and now it's like everywhere you go, the convenience store or Lowe's, like, you want to buy Shamrock, you know, and you feel guilty if you say no, and then, you know, depending on, the other day I think I gave $1 to 2 different places, and I was waiting for the third place to ask me, and
everywhere.
I was going to vomit all over the cash register.
Even if they're not asking you, then the ATM or the little pin pad that you use to pay with is asking you. You know, and then there's someone outside asking you.
I know. I'm going to say right now, I'm going to say the next time I'll tell the guy, I'll give $1 if you give $1.
There you go.
There you go. No, I don't want your fucking Girl Scout cookies. Sorry, dear, I'm a diabetic.
Because of Girl Scout cookies.
Mm-hmm.
You made me this way. He's struggling with that mic, huh?
Come on, Mike.
You should blame it on the clip.
Play along, Mike.
Yeah, man. I know what you mean. Everywhere you go, someone's trying to get $1 out of you. And I mean, I certainly don't make enough to give any money away at all. You know, I make very, very little. And luckily, I'm able to get a few things extra from my work, like coffee and food and stuff, because otherwise, I don't know how we'd make it. Mm-hmm. It's too expensive.
Well, here's a tip. I went to my wife's work the other day to get something out of her car or whatever, which happens to be not too far from a pretty nice casino out here.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, you know what? I'll just I'll take $20 in, and you never know. So I was like a dog looking for a place to take a dump, man. I just was like walking around looking for the right machine, and then finally I found the one I felt good about, I sit next to this lady. Usually I, don't sit next to someone, but there was only 2 machines like this and she had one of them. So I sit down, put in the $20 and, do like the spin or push the button, nothing. And, but I did probably, 50 cents worth, and, but it was no more than the 3rd spin and I get 2 wild thingies come up, and then this creature, goes to the graphics of this creature coming up, because whatever. And so the girl leans over and she's like, it's doing its thing, and it's tallying, and it's going up, and it's like, 98,076 credits or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, ooh, that was a nice one. So I wasn't sure if it was like $9.80 or whatever. So anyway, it's $98 and change, right?
Wow.
And I was like, cool, I'm out of here.
Cash the hell out. Yep.
And she just was kind of looking at me like, wow, that's how you do it. So that was a quick $78.
That's how I do it. I rarely have the opportunity to gamble anymore. But along the main strip of where I was living up in Seattle there, the main road, there were a bunch of card rooms. And, once a year, I'd go in with a $20 bill, make one play on a blackjack table. Didn't matter whether I won or lose, I walked out of there. So I either double my money or I throw $20 away. And that's the way. Mm-hmm. If you double or triple your money, get the hell out. Yes. That's the problem that my parents have. Sorry, Mom and Dad. It's true, man. They'll go up to that casino and then they'll win. Oh, we have more to play with. And then, so they will, and they'll stay until it's gone. And so rarely do they walk out of there with anything more than what they came with. And they get stuck into that like, oh, well, we have credits on our player's card. So, they've already given us $20 to go play with. But, well, yeah, sure they did. It's a free $20, but it's not free because you're eating at the buffet and then you're putting in another 40 of your own, and sure you're earning players points, but you're still giving them a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
They don't go nearly as much as they used to, but yeah, they've given a lot of money to the Indians, that's for sure.
And they deserve it.
Oh yeah. So how do you feel about leftover meat?
Well, I usually like it, but it depends on how it's prepared.
Oh, well, I have got a preparation for you.
Awesome.
We are going to go into our leftover meat moment. This week's leftover meat moment is brought to you by cooks.com, COOKS.com, and it's a suggestion of what to do with your leftover taco meat. All you need to do is have about a half a cup, maybe a little bit less, of leftover taco meat, some water, some shredded cheese. They suggest Mexican cheese, but, we're not picky. We're poor.
Or Mexican.
Or use Mexican cheese.
Right.
Yep. Easy Mac. You can use regular macaroni and cheese. It's cheap. You can get it at the dollar store, 2 for $1. Don't be a cheapskate. And then, of course, Tabasco. prepare your macaroni. You don't even need to use the cheese packet because we already have our Mexican cheese. And just put your leftover taco meat in there, dummy. Mix it all up. It's awesome. It's taco mac. And it's kind of like chili mac, but from our friends down south. Super easy, very college student-esque, and delicious. So put it in your face. If you have a suggestion for our leftover meat moment, give us an email. We have yet to receive a single email, damn it. So email us with anything. And even if it sounds like poop, your name will be attached to it, so we don't care. We'll let you know. We'll put your recipe on the air and give you a shout out. And so tell us what your leftover meat idea is, and we will talk about it. So,
good.
Yeah.
I like tacos. I am not a big fan of the
microphone.
That or like shredded meat. Sorry, I guess I'm a gringo. I like the ground
I do too.
beef over any shredded thingy.
I agree. Except pork. I like a pulled pork, like a shredded pulled pork type thing. That's good. Or if it's in like tamales. Tamales shredded is good, but when it comes to tacos and burritos and stuff, I'd much rather do a ground beef than shredded.
Me too.
I saw that Capesa taco place up the street.
Oh yeah.
We haven't gone yet, but Angela says she'll go with me, so I'm down to give it a try.
Yeah, I mean they're good. I think if you didn't know what it was and someone had said, "Hey, try this," it would. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know why. I think
How is it prepared? Does it look like ground beef or what?
No, it's in thin slices. Almost, at least the one I had, like a gyro.
Ooh, yeah. I love gyros.
Me too. But they're so messy.
You think? I don't know. I haven't had that issue.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Usually I do like the gyro plate though, so not like the sandwich and the pita. It's not all drippy.
Yeah.
Speaking of messy, this was my train of thought. I thought of how messy that gyro sandwich would be, and then I thought Carl's Jr., but instead of talking about Carl's Jr., I want to say Burger King, nice job on the Chipotle crispy chicken sandwich. That is friggin' awesome. I have not been very pleased with Burger King's menu recently, but that sandwich is killer. It really is. For the $4 I paid for it, it was worth every dollar. Not every penny, but like it's worth like $3.70 cents, even though I paid like $4.60.
And what is that again?
It's the Chipotle crispy chicken sandwich from Burger King.
I will try that Friday.
You should. It's awesome.
I tried the Jack's Big Hot Mess.
Yeah.
Speaking of messy. Yeah, it was messy for sure, and well, it was big and pretty darn warm. 2 out of 3.
That ain't bad. Yeah, my wife hates the logo and the whole marketing gimmick for that.
The 80s rock thing.
Yeah, she said that even the font that they used and the song, just everything about it, just it does not appeal to her at all. It's just funny how it works that way. How some people are really drawn in by things and others are repelled. Shows that it works.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for like a lot of new stuff because I actually don't care for the Jack in the Box burgers. Unless it's the sourdough something or other. But my big thing lately is the McDonald's Angus Deluxe. Love it. Red onions.
Never been a big fan of McDonald's. I'll do it, if I got $1 or $2. And then Jack in the Box, man. In the little town that I grew up in, there were 2 fast food restaurants. One was Jack in the Box, the other was Taco Bell. So we ate Jack in the Box 80% of the time. And so I've had probably 300 Jumbo Jacks in my life, and all of them were in like a 3-year span, And so
Still digesting that one.
I am. It's hard for me to go back and eat Jack in the Box burgers unless it's something new, like you said. I love trying new stuff, man. I mean, the Burger King one, I was just starving and I was on my way to work and I remember there was a Burger King, and I don't eat at Burger King very often because I haven't been real pleased with their stuff. So I was like, something new, it's chicken, I'll give it a go, and it was friggin' awesome.
Because you can order it how you like with their fish sandwich, I like mayo and mustard and pickles and cheese, and that can be pretty good depending on what you like, but I'm trying to go a little more fishy lately.
I think that, now I haven't had them, but I think that it was a mistake for McDonald's to do fish bites. I mean...
And they're not that good.
You've had them?
Yes.
Oh, man. Just texturally for me, like, I just envision, like, crispy, like a McNugget with just slimy white stuff inside. It's just like, I can't do it, I mean, it's not even much different than the McNugget already, but fish bites, you got to leave that to, like, Skipper's, Long John Silver's, those kind of places can get away with it because they do fish. McDonald's fish? No, man. I don't think so.
I mean, I like the filet of fish, but they're so freaking expensive.
Are they?
For just a bun with the cheese and tartar sauce and $2.79 or something crazy.
You don't even know what kind of fish it is.
Yeah. And that's okay.
I don't want to know what kind of fish.
Yeah.
Wendy's advertises cod. It's like,
that's right.
Good for them. I'm glad they know what kind of fish they're putting in there. I like Wendy's. I think Wendy's does a good job with their burgers, man. They got a good flavor, but Five Guys takes the cake. Mm-hmm. Five Guys is the shit. If you've never been to Five Guys, go now. Press pause. Go to Five Guys now.
We will wait.
It's awesome. It's now my favorite place to get a cheeseburger. Used to be In-N-Out. In-N-Out's played out now. Five Guys is where it's at.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking that's what you were talking about. I haven't been to Five Guys yet.
Okay, let's pause right now. But really, Five Guys is awesome. I saw one around here too. I think there's one.
We're back. And
I think there's one on Oracle. I'm not sure, but for like a regular hamburger, it's $5. But what's great about it is you can get whatever you want on it for no additional cost. So you can do 2 different kinds of onions, jalapenos, it already comes with cheese, anything you can think of, ketchup, mustard, and then you tell them, like, they've got all the sides on the bottom, bacon, grilled mushrooms, grilled onions, all that, no extra charge. It's all included, so you can go in and get everything, and everything is like all the things written in white, and then there's things written in red too, and you could get all of it if you wanted to, and it'd just be a sloppy mess. Yeah. But they use peanut oil. You get free peanuts when you go in there, and you can eat those and leave them laying all over the place. And then and their fries, man, they'll give you like a soda cup size worth of fries, and then an additional scoop on top of that they put in your bag. So even a small fry is just way more than you can eat. So that's it's really cool. It's not cheap. I mean, one person you could easily walk out of there $8 or $9, but it's worth it.
Yeah, that's any kind of value meal or whatever for the most part.
Yeah.
Anymore, $8.
Yep.
$7.61. Just guessing. Not that I eat out that much.
I tried for the first time Buffalo Wild Wings. Have you been there?
No.
We talked about this.
We did. That's right.
Yes, I finally tried it. It was good. It was really good. We didn't eat there. We picked it up, brought it home, and ate it. Really, I mean, for 4 of us, it was $50. So actually, for 4 adults and a 4-year-old, it was $50. You can't go out to eat for that. There's no way. Not after a tip and everything. And it was totally worth it. We got like a 50-piece, whatever, like 4 different kinds of wings, mozzarella sticks, and a big thing of fries with ranch and all kinds of stuff. And $50. So really good stuff. They have bone-in and bone-out wings. I like my wings with bones. Yeah. Because boneless wings are just chicken breasts, like breaded chicken breasts, and that's not a wing. It doesn't have the same texture.
It's not dark meat.
Right. I like to be able to slide the meat off with my teeth off the bone. I got a technique.
Ah.
Are you a drumstick or a wing man?
I'm not either. As the older I get, I just prefer not to have to mess with bones and gristle. I hate gristle and anything. And even though, yes, granted, breast meat is drier, you know, and my wife and her mom are like the dark meat type, you know. And yeah, I know it has a little more flavor, but so I'm not a big fan of wings in general. Or if I do a drumstick, it's mostly for the breading, and then I just take off the majority right there, the big part, and then.
Missing out.
I know.
I'm a dark meat guy. My wife won't touch any dark meat at all, which is good for me. But yeah, no. When it comes like Thanksgiving time, nobody really likes dark meat that I know. I mean, so it works out great. Yeah, I get as much dark meat as I want. It's like living in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
All right, well, let's talk about our featured food of the month, which is Top Ramen. This is a very out of the ordinary recipe. We've done a lot of savory and spicy and cultural ideas with the ramen, and this one I saw, and it was just so different that I wanted to talk about it. It is Chocolaty Goodness Ramen. That's what the recipe is called. And so you need half a stick of butter, 1 package of ramen noodles, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Guys, all right, I'm all for being, thrifty. Go buy yourself some good vanilla extract. Don't use that imitation bullshit. Come on. You're an adult. Act like one. Anyway, so...
Pony up.
I know, man. It's $6. It'll last you 5 years. Just do
Until
it.
It dries out.
And then you're gonna want some. So you have your real vanilla extract, and then a cup and a half of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and get some wax paper too. So crush up your noodles into little tiny pieces there. Melt your butter in a saucepan, and then put in your vanilla and your chocolate chips. Then you put the mixture in a bowl and mix in your noodles, and then make sure all your noodles are covered and everything, and then put them on the wax paper and wait for them to dry. And they are this awesome, like crunchy, chocolatey treat, and your children will never know that you only paid $2 for the whole thing. Well, $8 if you had to go out and buy the vanilla extract.
Right.
But, yeah, just something different to do with your ramen. So try it. Our feature food of next month, I'm not sure yet. I thought we could talk about that and see what you thought. I had a few ideas.
Next month, April. I did have some ideas. I don't have any right now.
I thought maybe we could do different chili recipes.
Good.
Because there's a lot you can do with chili, and everyone does it different.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to bring that up now. If you have a chili recipe for next month's featured food of the month, we want to hear it. Email us at cookingcomically@gmail.com, and we will feature your recipe, give you a shout out, and make love to your mother. So,
Or 2 of the 3.
right.
The thing with chili is you never know when you go to some get together or place that like some people make it good, some don't, or whatever, personal preferences, but it's always kind of scary when you're trying chili that you're not familiar with and
Yeah.
fall out perhaps the next day, or just some people like big chunks of tomato, or I don't.
Every chili is unique. That's what's wonderful about it. I mean, even cans, from brand to brand or whatever, it's all different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always some asshole at the cook-off that's a vegan, who wants to let everyone else know that they're a vegan.
Vegan chili.
No. But, even that is one of the few things that you can do vegan, and it's still pretty good. I don't know if I've tried many chilies that I don't like. I I'm I'm a huge chili fan.
How do you try a unique chili?
Well, you could do green chilies. You can try.
No. Unique up on it.
Oh. Good one.
Cooking comically sometimes. Maybe not so much.
That reminds me of a cheesy joke that my mom likes to tell. When
Do tell.
when she was cleaning apartments, she'd always say that one of the hardest parts is cleaning the Venetian blinds, the horizontal Venetian blinds. And then she'd pause and say, "Do you know how to make a Venetian blind?" And we'd say, "No, Mom, how?" And she'd say, "You poke them in the eye." Yeah. So anyway, next month will be fun. Chili.
That's coming up. I can't believe it.
I know.
Oh, wow. April.
I don't think we're going to be seeing a whole lot of April showers down here in Tucson. I think it's just going to keep getting hotter.
But then in about July-ish or something, we should get some good rain.
Monsoons, right?
Mm-hmm.
This will be my first time experiencing that.
It's wonderful. I recommend it to anyone.
I've heard it. It's accompanied by a lot of lightning too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be good photography. I got a cool app for my phone. It's a time-lapse app. Did I show it to you?
You were trying to test it out at our house.
Ooh, yeah.
But your battery ran dead.
That's right.
Dead battery Dave.
Yeah.
Dead battery Dave syndrome.
Is that
Dave, if you're listening, no offense, buddy.
Is that something he's pretty well known for? Is having a
Oh,
dead
I was just
battery?
thinking when we were moving and you were going to take pictures of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So what's up? Are you gonna come out to the open mic tonight?
No, not tonight.
Man, you gotta come out on a Wednesday, man. It's a lot of fun. It's good times. We're talking about Mr. Heads on 4th Avenue in Tucson. For those of you that are in the Tucson area, come on down. Show starts around 10:30-ish. Lots of local comics. Each one gets about 10 minutes. So a lot of time to run the set. It's one that I frequent on a weekly basis, so you can actually hear some legit jokes, some actual written humor, and they have $2
bullshit.
not the improv. $2 PBRs, $2 20-ounce PBRs.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's $40 $4 a 40, which that's almost just going store rate,
Plus entertainment.
Plus entertainment. That's right.
I'll get down there. I will.
That'll be good. There's another place that actually sells 40s in Seattle. For those of you listening in Seattle that haven't been to the Knock Knock that's on 2nd Avenue between Pike and Pine, go there, and they have Pabst Blue Ribbon 40s that they sell, and they give them to you in a paper bag. So you get to drink a 40 at a bar in a paper bag. I mean, and I think they're only like $4 or $5. So that's a great deal. And when you're there, say hi to Forrest for me. He works the door. He's a guy with no teeth. Good guy.
Hey, Forrest.
That's where my wife and I met, at that bar. Yep. She knocked over my 40. She did, and she felt bad about it. And then
That old gag.
So she talked to me.
I don't know how to approach this man. Knock over his 40.
See that guy over there? He's so cute. I wish I had the nerves to talk to him. Just spill his drink.
Yeah, see how he reacts, then you'll know what kind of guy he is.
Exactly. If he smacks you around.
Yeah. No, women are so sly.
So tell me about our sponsors for this week, our products that you brought in.
Our sponsor this week is Larry the Cable Guy, beer bread. Just add beer and butter, and on the front is him pointing at us, of course, in the classic sleeveless plaid and a hat. Oh, of course, the hat says "Get her done," and it says with a balloon coming out of his mouth. You gotta try it. And the box is pretty cool. The bottom part looks like when you tear a cardboard box, you know, it kind of separates into different layers. It's got on the back, and a little post-it says, "Hey, this recipe calls for a can of beer. Just be sure to use the beer, not drink it. Of course, you have to be 21 years old to drink, !" And then as it goes along, it's got a little picture of the beer being poured into the mix, and it says, "Okay, one tiny sip." And he's on the back, he's on the bottom, and he's everywhere. And I mean, I like Larry the Cable Guy, and he's coming to Tucson soon.
I cannot stand him. I really can't.
I respect what he's accomplished with his career.
Really?
I wouldn't buy one of his CDs.
He.
But wait. He's got other. You should try my other products. I won't read them all, but he's got loaded mashed potatoes, deluxe mac and cheese with smoky bacon, hamburger dinner, various other.
Hamburger dinner.
1, 2, 3. Got about 15 other products that he's pushing. Then, sorry, we got the can of Acme beef gravy, and it's a real dark. It almost looks like when they dip your ice cream cone in the chocolate and it hardens on a piece of some kind of meat.
Salisbury steak.
Yes, at least. It's probably horse meat. And anyway, I thought it was funny. Acme beef gravy.
I love it.
I thought it was funny that someone in my family bought it. Considering they're such hardcore fanatics about making everything, but you never know when the world's going to end, and be prepared.
My biggest problem with Larry the Cable Guy is there is some footage of him when he first started doing stand-up, and he didn't do this character. You know, he was just a normal, you know, he didn't have the southern accent. It was like a clip in Florida. Yeah. And I'm going to see if I can find that clip and link it in this YouTube video. But I just pulled up his page on Wikipedia here. And his real name is Daniel Lawrence Whitney. He is he's born in Nebraska. And I don't know. I know that certain people have a shtick, and you know, that's fine. You know, Gallagher smashed fruit. I get it, but this guy, I just feel like he's faking. You know, it's a character. That's great, but I just feel like he's lying his way through his career, and to me that really bothers me. I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just making excuses, you know, reasons to dislike him. But
you mean everything he says
ain't the truth?
Ain't the truth? Oh, Larry. For shame.
You know, I see what you mean. It is admirable to be able to have your own catchphrase and your own, you know, TV shows and everything. And he's just like this fun-loving Southern guy, and it's like, he is, but it's just a character. It's like fake, you know? I don't know. I know he's got some skeletons in his closet buried somewhere. God, I'd love to know what they were, you know?
Yeah. I felt bad. I told the preacher I slept with my third cousin, and I felt bad. The preacher said, "Well, you should have quit after your second." I'm amazed that he can still keep coming up with this stuff. I don't know.
That's just it. He doesn't, though. He doesn't. He just
repeats
the same thing over and over again.
Like, how long do you go where you just, once you get enough material? I mean, when you go on tour, when a comic goes on tour, you just do the same show.
It totally depends on the comic. I mean, like you look at Louis C.K., for example. I mean, everyone uses him as an example, but he does a new hour of material every year, and puts out a new CD. Tries to put out a new CD every year. You know, so that's you know what? That's 5 minutes a month of material that you got to write. Doesn't seem like it's that hard, but you're not just writing 5 minutes of material. You're writing 5 minutes of solid, you know. Solid material. So that really means you're writing more like 30 minutes of material a month. you know, because you're trying everything out. You're working through it.
And being able to stream it together, seam it together so that it
Have your
flows,
segues, yeah.
not just like jokes. And oh, that reminds me, I was watching. We finally got cable hooked up and or internet, whatever. I was watching Netflix, and somehow they're showing me that I might like all these old, sitcoms and what have you, and so the one came up was Spike Jonze from like mid '50s or something, still in black and white. And I guess Spike Jonze was, in his day was, and so it just shows him and the band. He's got this zany band in the background, and he's up front with his drums and cowbells and all his doodads, and they're just doing this, 6-minute intro with the songs and zoing zoing, hey waka waka, and like, but I know comedy has had to evolve, and we had to be there at some point, but it's just so weird and how they didn't go to commercial back in those days. The commercials were part of the show, Suave,
Yeah.
and what have you, and they even had the composer for the jingles for Suave and Colgate or something, and he's going off about how he had to come up with, it was interesting, but I only lasted about 10 minutes.
Couldn't take any more.
No.
Man, I don't know where I was gonna go with that. Yeah. Anyway, how about snack time? Let's talk about snack time.
Yeah.
I
Super.
have no idea where I came up with this recipe. I think I found it online somewhere a long time ago and just kind of went with it. It's 4 ingredients. It's super easy, and you just take frozen meatballs. You don't even have to make them yourself. It's easier that way because I'm lazy. Get your frozen meatballs. You need ketchup, brown sugar, and Worcestershire sauce. And it's easy to remember the recipe because it's X amount and then half of that and then half of that. So you put your meatballs in a crock pot before you turn it on. Cover them with 2 cups of ketchup, 1 cup of brown sugar, and half a cup of Worcestershire sauce. Stir it all together, cover your meatballs, let them cook for 6 hours. Sounds simple, but they are kick-ass. There's never any left at the end of any party I've ever brought them to. Bring some toothpicks so that people can poke their own balls.
And what do you cook them in?
In a crock pot.
Oh, okay.
Crock pot, 6 hours. The whole thing, it takes 5 minutes to make, to prepare, and then 6 hours to make. And so, yeah, easy, real easy for snack time. I like to keep it simple. If you have an idea for snack time, please email us. We don't get any emails, and we'd love to have your email. So flood our inbox with your ideas for snacks and hors d'oeuvres, and we will feature your recipe on our snack time segment, cookingcomically@gmail.com. I totally scored something at the thrift store the other day. Check this out. This is going to be great for us. This
Flashcards.
is a stack of, I don't know, what'd you say, like maybe 100 or so recipes.
Oh,
It's just this plastic bag full of recipe cards.
couple hundred.
And there was a price tag on it
That's a great picture.
with money.
I'll just take the money. You can keep your potatoes.
There was a price tag on that of $8.99, and I thought that was way overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
So I removed the price tag and I put it on the floor, and I pulled a price tag off of a Trapper Keeper that I found that said $1.99, and I put that on the bag, and I paid $1.99 for the flashcards, and now we will have recipes for life.
Good.
Yeah.
As we're still unpacking, came across a box. It was a calendar for like 2010 or something. Well, not a calendar, but like a recipe calendar, a recipe a day kind of thing. And I forgot to bring just Brussels sprouts sort of sauteed in butter because that's easy.
Yeah.
But I forgot. So, we're all grown-up smart people. Just get some Brussels sprouts and some butter and improvise.
A little bit of lemon juice too.
Get her dead.
Get her done. Or lemon pepper. Lemon pepper's where it's at. I like to do that with asparagus too. What else was I looking at? I had seen something. Oh, I went to the library and I got some books on learning what I can eat around here, what grows wild. And I got this book called Fruits of the Desert. And it is a cookbook made from people that live in the Sonoran Desert. There's all kinds of stuff around here. I mean, the mesquite tree, you can use the bean pods, eat those, or make flour out of them. I didn't realize that the saguaro has fruit that you can eat. The barrel cactus has edible fruit.
The prickly pear.
Yep, the prickly pear cactus has fruit. Even the cholla, when they start to bud, they secrete a sugar-like kind of syrup, and you can eat the buds that grow off of that. All over the place, there's stuff. So I'm learning, what is edible and how to forage it, and then not just pick it and eat it. There's some of it you actually have to boil or cook, otherwise it will make you sick. But then there are recipes in this book, and it's by Sandal English, and it's called Fruits of the Desert. It'll tell you how to make stuff out of all those things. I mean, from jams to butters to breads to everything. So I am intrigued. I love
chops.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Mold the fruit into a pork chop shape.
I'm a vegan, and I also learned that in 1896, the Supreme Court ruled that the tomato is a vegetable.
Oh, not a fruit.
Right. So any asshole pushing you around trying to tell you that a tomato is a fruit, you tell him to Google that shit.
What year was that again?
1896.
Wow, that's
A long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Tomato's been a fruit for a long time. So technically, ketchup is a vegetable juice. So it's not a fruit juice. Don't let anybody fool you.
And 50% sugar.
Is it 50%?
I don't know. It's a lot.
It's like, wow. Yeah, a lot of
Are you
sugar.
a big ketchup guy?
Not really. No.
Me either.
I like Thousand Island on a burger. That's about as far as I go.
Bob's Big Boy.
Ooh.
Do they still have those up in Seattle?
Not in Seattle, but went to one in L.A. I think it was L.A. Somewhere around there. Maybe before L.A.
Out?
On the way out here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
I miss Bob's.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, ketchup is not really thrilled.
I wish Larry would just take the hat off. Maybe he should go sans hat for a little bit. He's like, damn, now I got to wear these shirts for the rest of my life.
No. What am I going to do with all my sleeves that I'm cutting off of my shirts?
You make beer bread out of it.
I bet he's bald. I bet that's why he's got the hat.
Yeah.
He's ashamed of his bald head. That, you know.
Keep talking.
I was just going to say, I think that it's great that the shaved head is like in, it's acceptable. I mean, for the past 10 or 15 years, it looks good. But before that, it seemed like, not a lot of people were doing the shaved head thing, in the 80s and beforehand. And that was just not good for people that were balding,
I happen to be balding myself, receding hairline and all, thanks, Dad. And but I keep it short. I don't care really. It's like there's guys that are real self-conscious about it and Rogaining and all that stuff. But
so silly.
I wish it would just all freaking fall out and I wouldn't have to deal with it.
You know what you need? Cancer. That'll help.
Yeah, I know.
Can you sign up for chemo if you don't have cancer? You just,
Because I got this mole in the back of my head that that's why I don't shave it probably, because I always end up cutting it. And so if I could just get some chemo, I could avoid the whole cut and mole
There you
issue.
go. I wonder if you could do that. Is that like, would that be considered, what do they call it? Like, the plastic surgery and all that, like, not vanity, but you know how some insurance companies won't cover certain types of medical procedures because they're for,
Cosmetic.
Cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
So is there such thing as cosmetic chemo? I think we should start a business.
I'm ready.
All right.
Who would I make the check out to?
we could get Powder to be our spokesperson.
Powder, yes.
That'd be awesome.
Well, I've just had about enough of the Susan Conan pink
Susan
wrap,
G. Komen.
whatever that ribbon thing is.
God damn.
It's on everything.
Pink ribbon. You're all mad. Stupid ribbon.
How about a brown hairy ribbon for testicular cancer? Why don't we put that on the backs of our cars?
I like that idea.
And while we're at it, folks, if you're going to have a bumper sticker, just make it, did I mention this last week? Just make it so
you can read it.
You can read it. The words are big enough, and it's not half a page worth of something that's ridiculously stupid.
My mom hates the fact that the gays get the rainbow. She does. She's not anti-gay. She's got no problem with gay people. She just doesn't like the fact that she can't put a rainbow on her card because people will think that she's gay. She thinks that the gays have hijacked the rainbow and that the rainbow should be shared with everybody. Which I'm like, Mom, give the gays the rainbow. Yeah. They've been through enough. The least that the least you could do is give them the rainbow.
Why does she want a rainbow on her
Man,
card?
my she likes rainbows. She thinks they're pretty.
Then she should get a what's the
girlfriend?
The pony, yes. It's the pony that goes with the little toy from the 80s.
My Little Pony?
My Little Pony.
Yeah. Well, we're almost done. One last thing. I found this cookie for Chubby Tates. Apparently there is a restaurant somewhere that serves these awesome cookies that are nice and thick and chewy. And I found the recipe for them, and they just look really good. So I'll tell you the ingredients, and then I'm just going to link to the page, and you can read how to do it yourself here. But these chocolate chip cookies, all you need is 1 1/4 cup flour, baking soda, just a teaspoon of salt, some granulated sugar, and just a tablespoon of light corn syrup. You can use Caro syrup. That's what I like to use. 1 large egg, and then 1 large egg yolk. Make sure they've been sitting out and they are at room temperature.
What about the brown sugar?
It doesn't. Oh, it does. Yeah, one
Pack it firm.
Yeah, pack it nice and tight in there.
That brown sugar.
Nice and tight.
Put your thumb into it.
Right, a cup of brown sugar. Use a stick and a half of butter, and 2 cups of chocolate chips. And remember that vanilla you bought when we were making those top ramen treats? Bust it out, because you're gonna need 2 teaspoons of it. That real shit. Don't go to the dollar store and buy the cheap stuff. So anyway, it's pretty much all the ingredients you would normally use for homemade chocolate chip cookies, but you're just gonna add more butter, really, and a yolk, an egg yolk instead of just 1 egg. And I will post the link here so you guys can see just what you need to do, how long you need to cook them for. But yeah, should be really good.
Or you could just go buy some.
Or you could go buy some and be a cheap ass and don't even bother listening to this. I mean,
yeah. Go to chemocomically.com.
Cosmetic chemo, cooking comically.
.org/PSP.
So yeah, awesome. I think that was that's a wrap, man. That was good. What song is gonna lead us out?
This is from a Dave Weckl solo album called Synergy, and this song is called Cultural Concurrence. Take it, Dave.